Good morning, good morning. This is Marche Denise Fulham, the author of Confessions of Church Girls, also the proud mother of Jada Louise and Anzel Marche. I don't know if you've ever just woke up grateful, which is kind of like almost a silly question, but it's a great thing when you can wake up and just be grateful for where you are. And this morning, you know, I wasn't traditionally somebody that would just wake up early in the morning. And I think when I started taking better care of myself and making myself go to sleep on time so that I could get a minimum of 8 hours of sleep, and when I started really focusing on being a better me, it's moved me into a space where there's really no room a lot of times for anything else but gratefulness. And I know I've talked about this before, how every day I remind myself with the hashtag grateful, right? Because if we're not careful, we'll be so in motion and so in the mode of finding or being someone that's complaining that we'll forget to be grateful. So this morning while I was sitting here, because a lot of times I just sit here for a moment before I even push the record button, I just was like, man, God, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have peace. I don't have all the answers right now, but I have peace. I know that I will have the answers by September 13th, though. Um, but I do have peace. I'm grateful that I woke up, and I know that sounds like, you're in church and you be like, they used to say, I thank God for waking me up this morning that I have activities of my limbs. I guess the older I get, the more I understand the relevance and importance of that statement, um, because you can never take for granted the fact that you wake up. Although so many of us, and including myself, I've been guilty of it, we take even the smallest thing as waking up in the morning as something that's just supposed to happen. But there's a lot of people that didn't wake up today. There's a lot of families that are grieving the loss and individuals of someone, and to be grateful is a choice. So, out of all the things I could have talked about this morning, I just want to talk about how grateful I am that my mind is shifting. I'm grateful that I'm willing to put in the work. I'm grateful that I don't have the need to have just people always around me. And I say that in a good way. I want people to know I love people. Don't get me wrong. I'm a people person to the core, but I used to be, and I'm still working through this, where I wanted to take everybody with me, and I felt like everybody goes through every season. And if you're not careful, you're bringing people with you that shouldn't go along. And sometimes you can pour into other people more than you're pouring in yourself. So that's why, for anyone that's wondering, why is she doing these videos? Why does she always say, this is Marche Denise Fulham, the author of Confessions of Church Girls? What most people don't know was it took me longer than it should have for me to write that book. It's by far not going to be one of my best work, but what I had purposed in my heart to do was I just wanted to get it done. I wanted to kind of just type out everything that had been in my heart and my mind for so long and finally get it off of my bucket list a couple of years ago and make it a reality. What I'm finding is that that's how I cope through things, as I talk and I write. But I also wanted to share for other people that there's something very powerful about sitting in gratefulness. And all of us could look around and find something that we could complain about. But it takes way more effort to actually discipline yourself to be grateful. So today, I'm going to challenge all of us in all that you may have to do, whether it's big or small. Find some time to be grateful, right? I can rehearse and talk about a lot of things that I've been through. But the key word is that I've been through it, right? And that's another thing to be grateful for. We need to see the power. I was talking to someone about the power of death and life is in your tongue, right? And as much as we don't want to digest that or we take that lightly, it's very important what we allow to come out of our mouth every day, especially if it isn't to like edify or help or to correct and love. We should guard our mouth because it has the power to propel us to our purpose. I hope you heard that. Your mouth has the power to propel you to your purpose. So be intentional with your words. Be intentional with who you give your words. Be intentional on who you give your time so that you can guard your life of gratefulness, right? Be grateful, but let's work on our mouth. I know I'm working on mine because in a day, think about it, 24 hours, it's our opportunity, because words are like seeds, to plant seeds, right? Either in our own lives, in our family, in people that we know, in a work environment. You need to ask yourself, what type of seeds am I planting? Are they seeds of gratefulness? Are there seeds that lift people up or help them to get or position themselves in a better place? What kind of seeds are in your life? Or are you planting in your life? If you want a really good assessment, look at the fruit of your life. Look at where you're at, right? The Bible says you'll know a tree by its fruit, right? Examine your fruit. And if you don't see enough gratefulness, if you don't see enough of you speaking life, right? Because we could speak a lot of things, right? Y'all see me on here, right? But just like anyone else, just like I have the ability to speak life, I have the ability to speak death. So be grateful today. Take time to reflect and really make the decision not to complain, but to be in just a position of gratefulness. Also, watch the seeds that you're planting, whether it be in your life or other people's lives. And most importantly, know that what you say is going to lead the way to where you're going, okay? What you say is going to lead the way to where you're going. So be careful on where you're saying, not just to yourself, but others. All right. This is Marche Denise Fulham, the author of Confessions of Church Girls, also the proud mother of Jada Louise and Enzel Marche. And what I know for sure is God has a plan and he does not lie, right? And I just want to speak this in existence. One day, I'm not going to have to hold this camera and worry about lights in my glasses or if I'm shaking and things like that. What I know for sure is where God is taking me is somewhere that I was trying to avoid, but I'm ready and I say yes to his purpose, his plan, and his will for my life. So be grateful. #grateful. Encourage someone today. Plant seeds that count because the best is still yet to come. Keep going. Keep going in gratefulness. All right. I'll talk to you soon.